Hello, and welcome to Solving a System of Equations by Graphing. You're in luck. This is something you have learned how to do before, and just following a few extra steps will get you the answer that you could be looking for. So in this example, we have two equations. Equation number 1 is in the red, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 3. Equation number 2 in the blue is y equals 2x minus 4. We're going to start with the equation in the red, and what we do is follow the directions in the black box. So I know, I'm fortunate that this equation is already in y equals mx plus b form. So I can clearly see that in this equation, the y-intercept is positive 3, remembering the sign goes with the number. So I can take that and put it on my y-axis right away, and I'm going to call that my starting point. I then use the slope, which in this instance is negative 1/3. It is the number in front of the x, and that is going to tell me my rise over my run. So I can write that down, so I'm communicating my work. My rise is going to be negative 1, meaning I'm going down in this instance, and my run is going to be positive 3, meaning I'm going to the right. So I'm going to follow that instruction from my original starting point, the y-intercept. I'm going to go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, and I put a dot. I keep doing that, down 1, 1, 2, 3, and I should see that I'm starting to get a nice line. We have done this before. It will come back to you. Okay, I've reached the end of my line here, so I know that I can also reverse this. So instead of a negative 1, it would be a positive 1, meaning that I'm going to go up 1, and instead of a positive 3, it would be a negative 3, meaning I'm going to go to the left. So again, from my starting point, I can go up 1, and to the left 3, 1, 2, 3, and again, put a dot there. Keep doing that, up 1, 1, 2, 3, and you will see I'm starting to form a straight line. The lines are going connected. I am going to use a ruler. You want to be sure to go as far as you can. So I'm going to use a ruler to connect my dots as best I can, like virtual ruler. And more accurate they are, the easier this will be to see, because we're looking for an intersection point. And take care of my ruler. Since it continues, I can put arrows on the end, and I have one line graphed. I'm going to follow that same process now with equation number 2. I can see equation number 2, y equals 2x minus 4. Again, I'm lucky it is in y-intercept form. So I know that my b is going to be negative 4, and that is my starting point on the y-axis. So I find negative 4 on my y-axis, and I put my starting point. Then I'm going to use the slope, which is a 2, or another way to write that is 2 over 1. So I can see my, rise over my run, and that is a positive 2 over a positive 1. So that means I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 1 to start with. So I go up 2, right 1, and I put my dot. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Oh, I see something that looks interesting already. Do you notice it too? Going to keep going. I can see my line forming, but I also want to reverse it. So the other way I could do it is to go down 2 and to the left 1, because it'd be negative 2 over negative 1. So if I do that from my starting point, I go down 2 to the left 1. I will see that it still follows the same pattern of a line. And that should be down 2 over 1. Good for now. Again, I'm going to take my ruler, because being accurate is going to be important in this. Line up the dots. Okay, connect those dots. Put arrows on the end, and then what I do is I look for a point of intersection, and you might have noticed that earlier that the red and the blue lines do intersect at a point, an XY point that I can clearly read. The X is 3 and the Y is 2. This is the solution to this system of equation. Please note that when you're graphing, sometimes you might not find a point of intersection, but that could be your graph is not big enough and it's not showing that there still could be a solution, or it's possible that the lines are parallel and they will never touch, and that means that there is no solution. So please look out for that. A final thing that can happen is the lines could be exactly the same. So it's like one line on top of another line, and that would mean that there would be many solutions or an infinite amount of solutions. So keep a lookout. For now, our answer is x is 3, y is 2, and stay tuned for the next video how you can show and make sure that your answer is correct. There's no reason to get any of these incorrect on an assessment because you can check yourself. Stay tuned. Thanks.